This is the longest spoiler video that I will probably ever do, but I'm just going to say one thing. These spoilers are the most shocking in the whole entire series. No cap. What's good, y'all? This your boy Anime Mega Reviews, and today I got the Black Clover spoilers for chapter 268. And let me tell you guys, this was a very emotional panels for the spoilers. Like, this is legitly, if I could rank the top 10 emotional moments in Black Clover, this would have to be number one, bar none. And even after these spoilers, there's still just so many questions in my head. I have no idea what's up, what's over, what's left to my right in terms of this series. So let's get right into it, y'all. And I gotta say, with this first panel just right off the bat, I'm going to just come out and just be honest. A lot of you guys are right. Some people had said that the anti-magic demon was an outcast, and that's something that I wasn't necessarily all in, because this was just a pretty odd thing for me, because usually when we do see these shonen tropes, the demon or the monster that lives inside of our main character is usually pretty strong. When you have, for instance, with Kumara and Naruto legitly had the strongest tailed beast. When you have Hollow Ichigo, I mean, let's be real here, he was Vasto Lord level. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but he was Vasto Lord, and he was just annihilating Ukuyora. So when we usually have these shonen tropes with these demons and these monsters inside of the main character, they're usually pretty strong. But just right off the bat, Yuki Tabata, he's doing something different. This guy is an outcast. He is not a high-ranking demon at all. Otherwise, he would not have been thrown, I guess, up to Earth, because the underworld is, under the Black Clover universe, who knows, or like a different realm. So yeah, like, he was legitly thrown out of there. And for what reason, I don't know. Like I said before, this is just the panel for the spoilers, so there isn't exactly a whole lot of information. But what we can really see is that obviously the anti-magic demon is not too much different than Asta, just in terms of their overall being like an outcast of their own societies. And that's one thing that Lucifero, he wasn't lying about, because I know that some people have speculated that Lucifero was just playing with Dante and wasn't exactly being serious and telling him all the information that he should have told him. But even Lucifero was like, this guy is so insignificant that I just don't even know who he is. And in terms of the time frame in which this has all happened, I just have no idea. Even with the newer panels that are going to come out, well, what you guys are going to see later in the video, I just don't know what time frame this is all set in, and you're really going to see why. So pretty much the anti-magic demon, he is in this area, and I would say that this is the Clover Kingdom, but I just have no idea. I mean, it kind of looks like the Clover Kingdom, but it could be the Diamond Kingdom. It could be, somewhere else. I don't know when this takes place. It could be somewhere near the Heart Kingdom. This is something that's not exactly, pinpoint accuracy, but he's pretty much like a loner, and Asta was that up to a certain point, except I would say the difference with Asta is that he was alone in terms of not really having anybody around him that was, kind of just like him in terms of not having a decent mana level or not even having mana at all. I mean, Asta was always surrounded by Yuno, and Yuno is a very great character to Asta, so he's always had help. But in terms of the anti-magic demon, this dude is a loner, and this is even more information for me that's very confusing on just the time frame, because he's literally like walking around this town full of these people, and it's just kind of odd to me, because we do know that from Lumiere and Licht that obviously demons weren't a very common sight, and that was 500 years ago. Lumiere himself had to read a book to even kind of see, what were demons or what are they. And the anti-magic demon, he's just walking around just chilling, pretty much like out in the middle, out in the open, not even necessarily trying to hide himself. And this is just a great mystery. I'm trying to really figure out what time frame is all of this set in, because is this something that the humans in this area, or rather this time period, are just used to, just seeing demons just walk around? And we just assumed that the anti-magic demon had came through necessarily through like a portal with the Tree of Cliff-Off, because some people have speculated this is not the first time that it opened, but it really doesn't appear to be that. And in this panel, we see all of the townsfolk. They're really like creeped out by him. They're scared. And even in this panel, I'm still confused. Is this because this is like the first time that they've seen a demon? Or is it the fact that demons are a very common sight with these people and they're just being terrorized by them on a daily basis? Because if we go back just to the first panel, the anti-magic demon was thrown out of the underworld just easily. So obviously there was some sort of portal or some sort of opening, because if we then transfer to what we see now in the Black Clover series with Lucifero and Magicula, they have to open up the Tree of Cliff off in order for them to come through. And Zaggard also somehow found a way as well, but it's still not very clear on how he got his way into the human realm. So this is the big reveal here. People had said before that the anti-magic demon could be Asta's father and possibly had a relationship with Asta's mother. But at the same time, guys, that's just not true. The anti-magic demon is actually, it's an interesting design that Yuki Tabata is really using for him. Is he's not walking around like a grown adult. He is in the form of a child. He's very small. And Asta's mother, throughout these panels, we just see her taking care of him, nurturing him like, this is his actual real mother. And this is something that really just blew me away, because I wasn't exactly too sure on him being a lover to Asta's mother and somehow impregnating Asta's mother, and that's the reason why Asta may be half demon, half human. But from what we see right here, this is just not the truth. And I'm happy to see that there's just this different twist to it, that the anti-magic demon is in some way Asta's brother. And even in this panel, we see more of her taking care of him, giving him some potions. And obviously the anti-magic demon was pretty beat up by getting thrown out of the underworld. He took just a serious, like, legit beating, and she's just healing him. I don't know if this is this like confirmation that human healing magic works on demons, because obviously, he had to have gotten some type of healing. And it's pretty cool to see this. I mean, Yuki Tabata is just dropping these gems after gems. He's dropping these bombs. And some people may complain. I mean, some people always complain about something. And this is kind of what gets me with just the shonen fan base in general. So many people were saying that it's just a carbon copy of Naruto and Bleach. But look, Yuki Tabata is doing something that is so different with this relationship between the anti-magic demon and Asta, because mind you, the anti-magic demon didn't come into this world wanting to wreak havoc and kill everyone. Kumura wasn't necessarily on that, but at the same time, he did kind of lose his marbles and hated humans, but for obvious reasons. However, when we look at the anti-magic demon, he comes into the human world as a complete loner, complete isolated, and that is until he meets Asta's mother, and they grow this relationship. I mean, we see this throughout these panels. I'm not going to show all of them, but the panels just really show her being an amazing mother to the anti-magic demon. I mean, this is like legitly a demon, like legitly. Yeah, it's just pretty funny here to see Asta's mother just caring for him and doing all the things that, Asta really just missed out on, because Asta, he is an orphan. Obviously, his mother had died, and we're going to see more of that. I'm not going to reveal too much of it because it's going to get to the panel eventually, but that's something that is just a heartwarming experience to really see throughout these panels, because our boy Asta, like, he's probably wondering what it's like to have a mother, what it's like to have, a motherly figure actually care for him and, really just nurture him and love him. Because Asta, he had experienced that with, the church. However, it's just a complete different feeling when he experienced this, like, firsthand. So this is where the most unfortunate thing happens. I believe right here what we're seeing is the anti-magic demon is losing his control of his powers. Now, this could also be a case whereby the anti-magic demon has some sort of power that is very powerful as well in terms of in the demonic realm, but he just didn't know how to control it. But we see here that Asta's mother, like, she sees that something is clearly wrong. Like, she sees that obviously something is not right here, and her being the good-natured woman that she is, she runs to the help of the anti-magic demon. And this is when just, y'all, look, when I saw this panel, this was something that was truly heartbreaking, because all this time we just expected that Dante was the one who killed Asta's mother, but that's just not the truth, y'all. We see a different form come out of the anti-magic demon, and he sort of just forms like this monstrous, hideous face. And Asta's mother, she just doesn't really know what to do. However, we would expect her to be kind of like scared and run away, but she does the exact opposite. She does something that even in our world, we expect mothers to do. They protect their children, and she fulls on grabs the anti-magic demon while he's in this form. And I'm not even necessarily sure if this is the anti-magic demon. I don't know what is really going on with this, you know, power that's really going on here, because this is like, you see the anti-magic demon, however at the same time you see the shadowy figure in the background. So I think there's more to meet the eye than what we just see in these panels. Possibly, I don't know, he may be a son of Lucifero, he may be a son of Magicula, I have no idea. So we see Asta's mother, she's just like determined to find out what's wrong with her child, or rather what's wrong with the anti-magic demon. And the worst thing happens after this, and it's so heartbreaking, guys. I gotta show it to you. It may make some of y'all tear up. It may even make some of y'all like legitly cry. And I know that shonen tropes have had sad stories. Naruto's story was certainly sad. I mean, legitly, his family had just had him, and all of a sudden his father and his mother are both gone in the same day. When we look at Ichigo saw his mother die when he was just a child. Even when we look at, for instance, with Goku's parents died before he was even born, and that's very sad. What I like about these panels is that Yuki Tabata is still showing all the emotion and grit, even with this sad story. And I could just go back to other shonens where there has been just this horrible backstory, and the characters, they're very emotional. We can just relate to that, and an author is always going to have to do that, because it just can't be some stale backstory where we're not emotionally invested into it. Because even in these panels, we see just a mother's determination, despite her knowing for a fact that this was just a great amount of danger that she could face. And we even saw this going back to, I hate to keep bringing up Naruto, but I just love that scene with Naruto's father and his mother, whereby they knew for a fact that their lives were just going to be over, but yet at the same time, they're telling Naruto, even as a baby, things that he should just do when he grows up. They're showing him love even as their last breath is really coming out of their body. And that is the same thing that is being shown here in these panels and these spoilers. You guys definitely gonna see at the end. Like, I know this is a long spoiler video, but these spoilers are just ground shaking. And this is the panel that is just horrifying. It wasn't Dante that did it. It was actually the anti-magic demon. And I'm not even sure if in these flashbacks, Asta is going to be able to see this. I don't even know for a fact if the anti-magic demon is actually going to tell Asta that he was the one who killed his mother. That this was something that obviously a horrible accident happened, and the anti-magic demon really couldn't control his powers. And I think that this really just goes back to what we saw originally with the anti-magic demon in the last chapter, where he says that demons are scumbags. At first, we just thought that he hated demons, which of course he does, but at the same time, I think that he could be feeling some sort of self-loathing and just a prick on his conscience, because he knows for a fact that the one human, or rather the first human that showed him love, he killed by accident. And this is another big reveal right here. Asta's mother was in possession of this grimoire. How in the world did this happen? I have no idea. And this is something that is a big, giant just reveal, because Nero has said that she was keeping watch of this book the whole entire time, but there was an exception to that. She went to sleep for some years before she woke up. I think maybe about 50 years after she had transformed into the bird. I'm just assuming it was 50 years. It had to been some time could have passed. I don't know if it was a year, who knows, but let's just say that the base time for all this is 50 years. And in those 50 years, she was asleep. This would have been the only time where the book wasn't watched. So then I have to bring up another question in all of this. What if this is not Asta's mother? What if this is his ancestor? And this is something that we just have to really take seriously, because just even looking at the time frame for all of these events, it just doesn't make any sense. As I go back to what Nero has said, is that she has been keeping watch over this book for some time, possibly mostly 450 years if we're using that 50-year line as that baseline. And somehow throughout all of this, Licht's grimoire have fell into the hand of Asta's ancestor. Now, I'm not ruling out that this is his mother, and I'm still going to call it Asta's mother, or call her Asta's mother. But at the same time, guys, this just opened up the possibilities for more and more just revelations and theories, because now I'm just questioning whether or not This was actually just 16 years ago. This could have been legitimately 450 years ago. So anyway, guys, that does it for me today. These are the spoilers. I know this was a long video, but I thank you guys if you made it to the end for watching this video. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Also give me a thumbs up and comment down below and tell me what you guys loved about this video. Let's get this comment section jumping. Last week, y'all got the video up to 14,000 views. I thank y'all so much for it. Let's keep it going and let's keep the train moving, and make sure you guys stay safe out there, and peace.